here to tell you that today is your opportunity to throw all of that out the window, because I believe it. And I believe that you, yes, you, are built for greatness. You are made to have everything that you could dream for in this life. And I want you to believe it. I want you to feel it in your bones, because this unwavering belief in yourself, wow, that's the foundation of momentum. Welcome to Grit, Grace, and Inspiration. I'm your host, Kevin Lowe, and I'm excited to welcome you inside. What's going on? How are you today? Welcome back to Grit, Grace, and Inspiration, the podcast meant to inspire you, motivate you, and empower you to get out there and turn those challenges into opportunities, because, well, this life is worth living. My name is Kevin Lowe. I'm your host as well as transformational life and business coach. And today I am bringing you what is episode number 178. Today we are talking about harnessing the power of momentum. Yes, baby, that is what we are talking about. We are talking about catching the power of momentum like a surfer catching that big wave. Because it doesn't matter how much we do, how many things we get done, without momentum, we just fall flat. And, well, today, that's what we're talking about. Inside of last week's episode, that would have been episode number 176, I talked to you about overcoming your fears. And again, talking about taking action. Positive action, moving forward. Well, as I said, the next step with that is gaining momentum. Because when we have momentum, it's really hard to stop us. And, well, that's what I want for you. Because I want you to have the momentum to achieve your dreams, to crush your goals, to have the life that you want to live. No matter what you think life looks like for you today, it doesn't have to stay like that tomorrow. You have the ability to wake up tomorrow morning and completely change the trajectory of your life. And, well, I just kind of hope that this podcast helps you to get there. Now, before we dive in, if you did not catch last week's solo episode that I referenced earlier, episode number 176, well, then you missed out big time. I announced the opening of my brand new signature 90-day coaching program called Next Level You. 90 days to your next best chapter of life. This life, it's like a book. And in this book, we have chapters that we go through. Some of the chapters are awesome. Some are true page turners. Others, they're boring. They're dull. Or worst of all, there's chapters that we wish had never been written. Well, the fact of the matter is that I can't fix what happened prior in your story. But working with me, we can darn sure do our best to have influence on what happens in the chapters ahead. And that is exactly what my coaching program is there to do, is to help you write the story that you want to live. If intrigued and want to learn more, thinking that maybe this is for you, well, this is your invitation. Get a call with me and let's figure out if this coaching program is the next right step for you. And I've made it super simple to do it. All you have to do is send me a text message, and you're going to text the word next. So NEXT, text the word next to 833-205-8589. That phone number again is 833-205-8589. I will include that inside of the show notes in case that will make your life easier. Send a text message to that phone number with the word next, and I will send you a link to my online calendar where you can book a time for me and you to sit down and chat and figure out Is next level you the right thing for you? So with that said, let's dive into today's episode and harness the power of momentum to get you moving forward towards your hopes, your dreams, and desires. Life as we know it, it's a series of moments, a series of obstacles, a series of ups and downs, and sometimes falls, the spills, the bad stuff, the stuff that has us landing flat on our face. But none of those falls, no matter how bad they are, define who we are. What defines us is when we get up from that fall. When we stumble, when we fall, when we get knocked down, we have a choice at that moment. When we're flat down on the ground, face in the dirt, we have a choice. We can either stay down or we can get up. It's really that simple. Now, you choose what it is that knocked you down. Was it a diagnosis? Was it cancer? Was it an injury that changed the trajectory of your life? Was it something totally out of your control? Was it divorce? Was it a relationship that you dreamed about that then didn't work out? You fill in the gap of whatever it is that knocked you down. Well, it's your turn to get up because that is what defines you, is how you keep going. And that is where momentum comes into play. It's not just built upon one success to another. No, momentum is built when we learn from our past, when we use the hard times as the fuel, as the momentum to push us forward. That is what momentum is. That is the power of momentum. Momentum is the force that's going to keep you moving forward, no matter how hard you fall, no matter how bruised and beaten up you are. It's the momentum that you have in your life that's going to keep you pushing forward. So the question is, well, great, but how do we get that momentum? How do we build on our own momentum? And how do we use that momentum for good? Well, that's why you've got me, and that's why you've got today's podcast. First and foremost, you got to believe in yourself. Yeah, I said it. You must believe that you are able to overcome your challenges. You have to believe that you are able to achieve greatness. Now, I understand this may go against your very mindset, your thought process, what you have been led to believe. Well, I'm here to tell you that today is your opportunity to throw all of that out the window, because I believe in you. And I believe that you, yes, you, are built for greatness. You are made to have everything that you could dream for in this life. And I want you to believe it. I want you to feel it in your bones, because this unwavering belief in yourself, wow, that's the foundation of momentum. And when you believe in yourself and you believe in your potential and you realize that you can do it no matter what, well, baby, you already have the key to an unstoppable force, a momentum that is going to take you wherever you want to go. Now, the next step in this process is you have to take action. Even when it's difficult, even when you wake up and you don't feel like it, you have to move forward. You have to take action, even if it is imperfect action. Please let me emphasize that. Shout it out to the roof. Imperfect action is always better than no action at all. Because no action means no moving forward. Nothing is happening. You aren't progressing forward. You aren't building bigger as a person. You're just staying still. No, I want you to take action, even if it is imperfect action, because we're talking about momentum. When we start moving forward, we can easily course correct If we need to make a few changes, make a few tweaks, we can do that to get you right on line with your path. But if you don't ever even take the first step, then we have nothing to work with. The next piece of this puzzle is I want you to think of your journey like a snowball, where that snowball starts out small, rolling down the hill. But as it goes, it gets bigger and bigger. It collects more and more snow to go down the mountain with it. Well, I want you to think of it like the same. As you are building momentum and you are moving forward, you're going to have people who are there with you. And you have to make the choice that you're bringing the right people along with you, because you don't want people rolling down the mountain with you who are going to veer you off course, who are going to stop you in your tracks, who are going to be that person whispering that, hey, you're not worth it. You can't do it. You think you can, but what makes you think you can this time? Look at how many times you failed in the past. No. That person, they ain't coming down on this ride, because, baby, you are only taking the best people with you. So I want you to remember that. I want you to focus on that, because the bad people, the negative folks, they're going to try to come along. I'm telling you, it's just a fact of life. But you get to choose who is on this ride with you. And when you're building momentum towards your hopes and dreams, you better bet you got to be selective. And you only bring aboard the best people, the people who build you up, who make your snowball bigger and faster, rolling down that hill with momentum, baby. Now, here's the thing. You can't give up. You can never, ever give up. In this life, you will have hard times. Things will not work out. And right when you think that everything is great and that you have got the world on your side, like, baby, you are good to go, that is when the ball will drop. But what we're talking about here is the preparation for when that happens, because you have that momentum. That is why momentum is so important, because the momentum is what's going to keep you moving forward when the bad stuff does happen. That's the whole reason I'm talking to you today about building momentum in your life to help you get to where you want to go. Don't do it alone. Don't do it without a reason why behind you as the fuel. You got to have something deeper driving you forward so that you will not stop even when it gets tough. And here's what's really cool about this. When you get past the hard times, when you overcome the adversity, you actually get stronger. Because with every bump in the road you hit, you get bigger and stronger because of it. You become more resilient. You become more powerful. You become more wise because of the bumps and the bruises and the experiences gained. You become a bigger, better, stronger person, ultimately building to your momentum. So you could basically say that in the mindset that I'm trying to get you to adopt, even the bad stuff, we can use it to our good, because you're going to gain from it. You're going to grow from it, and your momentum is going to become even greater because of it. Here's the bottom line. The power of momentum is already inside of you, and it is a force that has the potential of completely changing your life. You just have to realize it, and you have to learn how to harness it, and you have to believe in it, and you have to fuel it, and you have to really let it know that, baby, you are there. You got it. You are catching this wave no matter what, and you are riding it all the way to shore. So remember, it's time for you to harness the momentum. It's time for you to remember that you must take action, even if it's small action, imperfect action. you must take the step forward. You must do it with the right people on your side. And you must never give up. Even when the going gets tough, even when you feel like quitting, even when you start to ask yourself, but why? Why am I doing this? Well, why are you? Before the hard times came, why were you doing this? Why did it matter? I don't want you to give me the reason why when you're in the midst of the hard stuff. No, I want to know the reason why when everything was great, because that's the real reason why. Because I want you to realize that the hard times are just a bump in the road. Soon the hard times will be over and you'll be back to sailing. And along that journey, I want you to get to where you want to go, not to be derailed by the bumps along the way. So here's where you are. You're left with a choice. Do you stay still and do nothing? Or do you take action? Do you get real on your hopes and your dreams? And you start moving forward and you start building your own momentum and you figure out who you want to come aboard with you and make this life one to remember. Let your life be one that people talk about for generations to come. That's when we leave an impact on the world. And I'm here to tell you that you're capable of it. Remember, this is Kevin Lowe with Grit, Grace, and Inspiration. If you want my help to help you harness this internal momentum to build a force that cannot be stopped, well, consider joining Next Level You, 90 days to your next best chapter of life. Set up a meeting with me and let's talk and let's figure out if it could be the next right step for you. A no obligation, no sales, just me and you talking it over. Text the word NEXT, that is NEXT, to the number 833-205-8589. Again, that phone number is inside of today's show notes in case that will make life any easier for you. With that said, I'm your host, Kevin Lowe. It's time for you to get out there and take on the day. Now that you've got a little bit more grit, grace, and inspiration on your side. See you again next week. Hey, real quick before you go, I have one last thought to leave you with. I, of course, hope that you've enjoyed today's episode, but more importantly, I want to remind you that I never want you to listen to an episode of this podcast to hear something that I have to say or that my guest has to share and think, wow, I wish I could be like them. I wish I could overcome my own challenges and do the great things that they are doing, but I just can't. Well, friend, that's where you are wrong. You are capable. You are able. And you darn sure are deserving of having all that you can imagine in this life. There's nothing special about me or any guest I have on this podcast. We are all just normal people trying to make it in this life. And so I encourage you to take a look at yourself in the mirror and remind yourself that, you know what, I can do it too. Now, of course, if you would like help along that way, reach out to me, whether that's as a listener of this podcast, a friend, or if you'd like to work with me as a coach. My contact information is inside of every episode's show notes, just like this one. So go down, check out my contact information, and reach out to me today. With that said, I encourage you to take on the day every day with grit, grace, and inspiration.